The circuit has rubbed in with practice, but this is still going to be a difficult session for our drivers as they fight for pole position. Welcome to qualifying here in Azerbaijan. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction, and over the course of a lap it's easy to get that balance wrong, and that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now and it never gets any easier.
Yes, hello everyone, and welcome back to my F1 2019 career mode here today around Azerbaijan. Hoping for a better result than last time out, because of course if you did miss the last episode then please go check it out. It is on my channel. It's running very wide there on our first qualifying lap in qualifying 1, but of course if you haven't watched last episode then this next comment I'm about to say will be spoilers. So we didn't manage to get the best of results, finishing in, was it 9th or 8th? I can't remember. But then again, we did have an unfortunate issue where we lost our front wing on the first lap. But however, going on to here, we are having lots of issues getting out of Q1. Having to use a fresh set of tyres just to get out of Q1, which is something I really didn't want to do, to be honest. But now, coming up to the start-finish line, we are about 4 or 5 tenths up on our previous lap time, and this should get us through. Should just about get us through here, and we have got through, so we're in 13th place. I don't know why the pace just suddenly disappeared around here. It was weird. Obviously, Grosjean was okay with it, so I don't know what happened to me. Bottas and Vettel going on to the mediums, which is interesting there. But of course, the usual runners. Well, I mean, the two McLarens actually. That's a shock actually to see them both go out in Q1. That was Q1. But now on to Q2, hoping to get through to Q3 because that's where this car technically should be, around like 9th, 10th, something like that. So hopefully we can get through to Q3. And now, as we are now coming up to finish our first lap here in qualifying 2, we cross the line and we go 7th fastest. But unfortunately, as we cut to the end of Q2 now, on the end of my second flying lap, we are in 12th, and we are 8 tenths down on our previous lap time, which isn't great. So we're not going to get through to Q3, unfortunately. We are going to qualify in 12th, I think. Yeah, we are going to qualify in 12th. And there is a massive shock in Q2 this episode. Max Verstappen was knocked out in Q2 on pace because he was on soft tyres. George Russell there getting a superb qualifying for Williams. And Lucas Weber is in second. Like, what is that? But let's go to the Grand Prix now. Let's see if we can try and get some solid points from 12th place.
Good afternoon and welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Baku City Circuit then, an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Now, can I talk to you about Sebastian Vettel? Looks like they've got a tough race in store today, as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be, it's about effective damage limitation.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Perez, Lucas Faber and Gasly, Butler, Grosjean, Ricciardo and Max Verstappen. Williams, Russell, Sebastian Vettel. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Kvyat, Raikkonen, Albon, Lando Norris and Robert Kubica. Giovinazzi and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, so you're lower on the grid than we wanted. Let's make the start count.
So here we are then on the grid for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So fortunately not in the position that I wanted us to be in. However, that does allow us to go onto the alternative strategy, which I am doing this time. I know I mentioned I was going to try and do it around China, but unfortunately it didn't really work out because we just lost our front wing in the... Well, we lost part of our front wing in the first lap, so it didn't really work out. But we are going to go for the alternative strategy this time, as we now go to the 5 red lights here. We actually start 11th, actually, so we've got 4 lights, it's 5 lights. So lights out, and here we go here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We've got us to a relatively decent start. George Russell's got us to a rocketing start there. As we now go on to the, around the outside of George Russell here, maybe almost going to the back of Daniel Ricciardo. And George Russell is up into 11th place. I forgot, actually, as we go down the inside of... whoa, we almost go into Ricciardo there as well. I forgot, actually, that Vettel actually had a grid penalty for engine components. So I forgot that happened. But now in the slipstream of Verstappen, Grosjean and Ricciardo. In case you're wondering why there was a jump cut there, it's because my Elgato messed up halfway through that bit, unfortunately. But we ride the curb, almost hit Ricciardo. Ricciardo has to take avoiding action. He hits the barrier and he's lost a bit of his front wing. And now coming on to the end of lap 1, we're now in the slipstream of Daniel Ricciardo. We've also got George Russell behind us, being quite a way back. Lewis Hamilton sets fast lap of Grand Prix. And now we're going to go down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo. He's still sticking it in there. Yes, I did stick it down to high, because why not? And now we are right behind Max Verstappen, and I don't know who's ahead of him. But Max Verstappen anyway. I think it was actually my teammate who was ahead of him. I can't remember. But we are now being attacked by Daniel Ricciardo. Ricciardo has managed to stay in our slipstream, and Vettel now has caught up to us as well, as we now have Vettel and Ricciardo right behind us. As we go on board with Ricciardo here, there's a bit of contact with us there. I run very wide into the first corner, and now Vettel's going to have a look at Ricciardo, but George Russell is going to come down the inside of Sebastian Vettel. I never thought I'd ever see that, I'm not going to lie, but unfortunately nothing much really happened from that, and I think Vettel and Ricciardo, actually I don't know what happened to Vettel and Ricciardo. I think Ricciardo was dropping back because of his front wing as we overtake Gasly. Yeah, I think Ricciardo dropped back because of his front wing, and Vettel was just in a brawl with Russell, which I never thought I'd ever see.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
So, as Jeff said there, we're approaching the pit window. We will be on the softs, and this is where we pit. So that's some good timing now, actually, as we are actually in first place. I didn't even realise that. I didn't even realise that at the time of recording it either. I was just driving as Lewis Hamilton passes us there to go into first place. And he has an absolute monster of a lead already. I mean, that guy is actually insane, I'm not going to lie. But coming out of the pit lane then, 2.4 second pit stop, good job there from the Haas boys. And coming out of the pit lane, I think we have actually jumped a few people, but we have been jumped by Sebastian Vettel. So that's unfortunate, but we have jumped our teammate, I think. Our teammate's actually alongside us there. We actually make contact a little bit, and we managed to successfully get past our teammate, jump our teammate in the pit stops, so he's not been very happy with that, is Romain Grosjean. And now we are right behind Sebastian Vettel, who is stuck behind Lucas Weber, who's trying to get past, and then we dive it down the inside of Sebastian Vettel, who braked early to stop going into the back of Lucas Weber. And I don't know what this train's all about in front of me, but Weber was going really slowly. I had a look, decided to not go for it, and now we are coming onto the back straight, and you know what's going to happen here, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute slipstream fest right here, as we're now in slipstream of Lucas Weber. Weber comes out of the slipstream of Leclerc. We're boxed in between Leclerc and the wall and Weber. Now Weber's going to go in between of Verstappen. Verstappen's boxed in as well. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. Leclerc, I think, got put off by Perez going into the pit lane. We dive it down the inside of Weber, and we're in the 3rd place of this Italian Grand Prix. Italian Grand Prix? Why did I just say that? I meant Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I think I said Italian because of Ferrari, but that was crazy. As you saw there, Leclerc lost momentum because of Perez going into the pit lane. There's Lucas Weber there tries to go down the inside of me, and now Lucas Weber has got Sebastian Vettel for company. As I think Vettel has actually got past him here down on the straight, but I think Weber is going to successfully defend that position. The name might change at the top right, and now we cut on to lap 11 of the Grand Prix. We've got Sebastian Vettel re-overtaking Lucas Weber, who did actually overtake Vettel in the end. And now we've got another car on the outside. It's a Red Bull. I think it's Max Verstappen from out of nowhere. And suddenly all this is happening. And now we're cut onto the last lap. I mean, what a crazy last stint that was. But unbelievably, we're going to come home for our first podium position in Formula 1. I had no idea this was going to happen in this Grand Prix, starting 11th. But as we now come up to the start-finish line, we claim our first podium in F1, and I'm very, very happy with that result.
Can't complain about that one. That was an excellent drive.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team. And they certainly deserve it.
So the final race classification then sees Hamilton win from Bottas by 14 seconds, so Hamilton just bossed that race. Then myself, surprisingly, Vettel, Weber, Leclerc, Verstappen, Gasly, Grosjean getting some points, and George Russell getting some points as well. Williams actually had a very good race, fair play. Butler didn't have a very good race at all. Good, that's good. And unfortunately Lando Norris finished last. So McLaren not having the best of weekends. So the driver standings then, when I eventually press it. Yep, driver standings, there we go. Bottas still leads the way, but now from Lewis Hamilton, his teammate. I've moved up to 5th above Weber, Verstappen and Gasly. And Grosjean, my teammate, is quite a long way behind. Unfortunately in 9th. In the constructors standings, Haas have consolidated their place in 4th, and in the movers are Williams above Alfa Romeo. But without further ado, let's get into the interview with Claire and let's see how she thinks our race went on.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing. You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip or did you just misjudge some corners? Great, well that's everything.
Well, after that eventful Grand Prix, I don't really know what else you can do really apart from subscribe and like. Do you like that? Yeah, that was good that. But if you have enjoyed this video, obviously leave a like and comment on what you think I can do differently. Obviously, of course, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this series. I know I'm a long way behind everyone else who's doing F1 stuff, but that's just because of personal reasons and all that, you know. Fortunately, not getting the team goal bonus there of 600 points. Again, Haas rep going down, even though I've got a podium for Haas. Don't understand that. But whatever. With what's going on in real life, I'll probably leave Haas at the end of the season. We actually have contract negotiations here, So let's see how this goes when I eventually start them.
It's time for us to renegotiate your contract. Here you can see the current deal. Once negotiations begin, the team will make you an offer. You can accept if you like, but I strongly suggest we push for better terms.
So I did try for simultaneous development,
They didn't like those terms. Let's
and
try
unfortunately
again.
they didn't like it, obviously. So I did try to get rid of. I did get rid of the simultaneous development. I just went with that, and it
We're
was
asking
still
for
too
much
much.
here. We need to
So I don't know what really they're expecting. It said accept contract, so I was a bit confused as to what was going on. So I just accepted it, and it failed, apparently. Like, I don't know what that's about.
I'm afraid negotiations have broken down, and there's nothing more I
So
can do. Luckily, we had the team's original offer to fall back on.
we're still on
So
the
we've agreed
original
to those
contract.
terms.
As you can see there in the development, we are the fourth best team. I know I haven't really shown you much of the development recently, but I will start showing you it in the next episode when these parts are done, hopefully. Engine upgrade and an aero upgrade I went for in this episode. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please leave a like and a comment, and subscribe for more F1 2019 career mode videos. And of course the co-op that started a couple of days ago, or last week, or whenever I put this out. But yeah, leave a like and a comment. Goodbye.